I just finished watching this movie and I would give it an 8 out of 10. I still remember back in 2010 when I was given a Nokia phone for communication, and I used to play this game all the time, all different versions of it. It's kind of nice to see this movie becoming a reality. Watching this movie was just pure nostalgia. The movie is out in the theater right now, and if you wanna get the best experience, you should go and watch it on the big screen. Now let's break it down in the simplest language possible. The story begins on the island of Berk, where the Vikings have been living together for centuries after centuries. When other islands have got problems with mosquitoes and all kinds of insects, these guys are in a whole new level of challenge. They basically had to deal with local dragon attacks almost every single day, and this is how they grew a sworn enmity with the dragon community. This is Hiccup. He is the central character of the story and the son of Stoic, the Viking chief on the island. This dude claims to have chopped off a dragon's head when he was just a child, which I will never believe. He tells Hiccup that there's one dragon he never managed to defeat until now, and it's called the Night Fury. The Night Fury is considered to be the most dangerous and the most stealthy version of all the dragons. This is Gobber. He is the weapons master on the island as well as Hiccup's trainer in the battlefield. This is Astrid. She is the leader of the fire squad. She wishes to be a dragon slayer in the future. Hiccup wants to slay a dragon as well, but not to prove himself as a great warrior, but rather impress Astrid to win her love. Dude has set up the impossible goal of finding out the Night Fury to impress Astrid. When he was looking for the dragon using his binocular at night, the island suddenly gets attacked by a giant unknown dragon. He runs for his life and eventually his father Stoic decides to tackle the dragon all alone. The dragon gets defeated in the first strike and runs away. But just a few moments later, it comes back in full force, taking away the foodstock the Vikings saved for themselves. Stoic is still angry at Hiccup on the fact that he is still not strong enough to defend himself and living his life daydreaming all the time. A meeting gets held at night by the Viking chief on what they can do to protect themselves from these kinds of unwanted and unprepared dragon attacks. He wants to find out the dragon's nests and finish their entire bloodline. He asks Gothi, a strategist in their clan, about either they can really pull that job or not. The woman nods in silence and he understands that this plan of theirs might be feasible. He tells his men to prep the ships. The next morning, he tells Gobber that he doesn't have enough time to train new people into their assault team. He also says that he is extremely worried about Hiccup's growth as a warrior. Gobber assures Stoic that his boy is still learning, but he was not convinced enough to put his faith on his son. In the meanwhile, Hiccup was walking through a jungle trying to track down the dragon that hit their village last night. When he was about to lose his hope, he stumbles upon a broken tree branch and finds some burn marks all around. All of a sudden, he gets to discover a mini dragon lying on the ground. It was the legendary Night Fury. It has been wounded last night when Hiccup, by sheer surprise, managed to spot it in the sky and hit 2 detonation cords at it. He at first proceeds to cut off the head of the dragon, but can't manage to put himself together for this. The dragon tries to intimidate him with his giant wings. By the look of the teeth, Hiccup realizes that it's a baby dragon, and this is when it flies away. He goes back to the village. During midnight, he finds his father awake sharpening his weapons in the workshop. He tells his father that he doesn't want to kill dragons. He wants to make friendship with them. But his father gets both surprised and furious to hear that. He explains to Hiccup that dragons are their sworn enemies, and it has been generations of tradition for them to kill dragons. In the next morning, Hiccup is about to join his first challenge in the battlefield arena. Astrid is also one of the participants. Whoever scores the highest in this fight will receive the honor of slaying a fire dragon in front of the entire village. They unleash a fire dragon in the arena and they start jumping from defensive to offensive mode to tackle the dragon. In the end of the challenge, only Astrid and Hiccup were left to fight. Astrid wins the challenge. After that, Gobber goes to drag up Hiccup and says that the dragons are never their friends. They will never be friendly with humans, so he should learn how to treat them like a die-hard enemy. But Hiccup was not paying heed to anything. He was just wondering about why the baby dragon didn't kill him then in the jungle. In the meanwhile, the Night Fury was still in pain due to losing its tail to the flying detonation cord. He begins to sketch the body structure of the dragon. When he accidentally drops the pen on the ground, the dragon gets to realize that someone is watching him. He immediately slips away. At night, he comes back to the village. Astrid was studying about dragons as a part of her training. This is when Hiccup begins to rant again that dragons might be friendly and not as hasty as they appear to be. But the girl bashes the poor boy, saying that he is just wasting his time anticipating something that will never come true. After that, she walks away, but Hiccup stays late at night to finish reading the dragon book. When When he opens the page of the Night Fury, he basically finds nothing up there, but he has already made a sketch of the Night Fury that the villagers have never seen. In the meanwhile, Stoic is sailing in the ocean to locate the Dragon's Island to destroy their nests. All of a sudden, they encounter a sudden attack by a horde of dragons. The man manages to drive them away. In the meanwhile, Astrid and Hiccup were fighting another dragon as a part of their training. Hiccup was not willing to hurt the animal, leaving Astrid to be completely on her own. She eventually manages to lock the dragon in its cage, and then walks to Hiccup to tell him that he should seriously decide either he will defend humans or dragons. He later goes into the jungle with enough food for the Night Fury. He finds out the dragon. He throws his knife into the sand to prove that he means no harm over there. He offers the dragon a fish. The Night Fury takes it and throws away a small piece to Hiccup to share that with him. Hiccup takes the fish and starts eating it raw just to win his heart. Night Fury then sets the sand on fire to warm it up for sleeping. Just within a few hours, the both start feeling comfortable around each other, and eventually he gets the courage to touch the Night Fury with his bare hands. A beautiful bond was made that day. The next day, Hiccup starts working in the village workshop building something special. He goes back to his new friend with salmon, trout, and eelfish. Dude hates eelfish, by the way. When he was busy eating the other stuff, Hiccup attaches a fake wing to Night Fury's damaged tail. That will do for a while. The dragon gets afraid and starts flying in the sky when Dude was lashed onto his tail. He survives eventually. In the next training session, they fight a two-headed dragon. It surprisingly doesn't hit Hiccup when it gets to notice that he doesn't have any weapon on him. Next day, he flies with the Night Fury to a field full of dandelions. He gets to find out that his friend is allergic to this flower. So, he uses the petals of this flower in the next training session to defeat the dragon without causing brutal harm to them. Through the Night Fury, he also gets to find out that tickles put them to sleep, and he doesn't hesitate to use that in his training. Astrid is getting jealous of his improvement. Stoic has come back from the voyage. He has failed in finding out the dragon's nest. In the meanwhile, Hiccup was flying with the Night Fury. All of a sudden, one of his notes written about flying instructions fall off his notebook. Panicked him loses his balance, and when he was about to die, the Night Fury manages to grab him again. Although he has been able to grab the instruction paper, he throws it away, saying that from now on, he will just trust his instinct to fly his dragon. At night, Stoic crashes into Hiccup's room and says that he knows about Hiccup's little secret. Dude legit started to assume that his father probably knows about his dragon friend, but to his utter surprise, Stoic says that he has learned about Hiccup's improvement in the training. He honors Hiccup with a helmet made from his mother's breastplate. He then tells Hiccup that he will eventually become a great warrior. In the next morning, Hiccup wins in the dragon fight against Astrid. The girl was drowning in jealousy. Hiccup, as usual, goes to meet Night Fury, but he had no idea that he was being followed by Astrid. When she decides to leave that place to tell everyone about Hiccup's secret, Night Fury grabs the girl and starts flying in the sky in unpredictable patterns. He lands on the top of a mountain. Hiccup manages to calm down his friend. After that, he convinces Night Fury to give both of them a smooth ride. Astrid is now changing her mind on the fact that dragons might not be their sworn enemy. At night, she tells Hiccup that he still has to get himself together to literally slaughter a dragon with his own hand in the final day of the training. She still doubts that maybe Night Fury is just an exception. Every other dragon might be extremely dangerous. She smacks Hiccup at first for kidnapping her, and then also kisses him for giving that ride. In the next morning, Stoic announces proudly that his son has become a supreme dragon hunter. Within a week and a half, he has been able to become the Viking he always dreamt to be. Now it is time for him to kill the opponent dragon in the arena to get the title of a true Viking. Astrid was watching everything from behind. Failing to deal with the dragon, Hiccup begins to scream. Night Fury gets to hear that, and he immediately rushes to help his friend. Hiccup was surprised to see Night Fury taking the risk of exposing himself to the Viking community during the broad daylight. Together, they manage to lock the dragon in the cage. But the Vikings, instead of thanking the Night Fury, begin to corner him. Stoic orders his men to lock him up too. In the aftermath, Hiccup pleads his father to let his friend go, but Stoic snaps back at him saying that his mother died because of a dragon, and he can't let a creature of the same breed stay alive as long as he is breathing and watching everything. The man screams that Hiccup is a disgrace to the Vikings community. Feeling defeated, he goes outside to take a breath. Astrid walks up to him to say that he shouldn't feel guilty about bonding with the dragon. Feeling motivated, Hiccup makes up a crazy plan. Stoic has finally found out the island where the dragon's nest can be found. Hiccup has asked help from some members of the Fire Clan. He was crazy enough to risk his life to tame the captured dragons for his mission after a lot of hustle. Together, they head straight straight to the island. When Stoic was about to attack, some dragons come out of nowhere and start attacking them from all sides. Night Fury has also been taken to that place. He is the one who gave them the clue. All of a sudden, a massive dragon rises out of nowhere just like your pedal stick rises in the morning for no reason. He is the most evil of all dragons. This dragon was single-handedly responsible for the enmity between the humans and the dragon community. He sets everything on fire. When Stoic was about to get incinerated, Hiccup appears to attack the giant dragon with his fire clan. The old man was surprised as hell to see a human being riding on a dragon's back for the first time. Hiccup manages to land his first hit into the right eye of the giant dragon. Night Fury falls into the ocean still tied. Hiccup immediately jumps into water to save his friend, but he was struggling to untie him. Stoic dives in to pull them both out of water. He saves Hiccup at first and then risks his own life to cut the chains of Night Fury. Being Fred, he shoots out of water, keeping Stoic in his arms and throws him onto the ground. The fight is still on. Hiccup tells his father that he will make everything right this time. This is when Astrid calls for help from above. Her dragon's tail has been stuck in between the teeth of the giant dragon. She jumps into the dragon's mouth to break a tooth to free her dragon. She jumps off the dragon's mouth and Night Fury manages to catch her. Now the big man goes after Hiccup and his dragon. They lure the dragon to fly above the cloud and Night Fury burns both wings of the dragon within a few seconds. Stoic below was surprised to see the capabilities of Night Fury. Unfortunately, his friend's artificial tails are burning as a collateral damage. Fury lures the big dragon again into following him to a volcano. And then he suddenly changes his course, knowing that the giant dragon will fail to control itself and crash into the volcano, eventually killing himself. Hiccup gets hit by the tail of the giant dragon and falls onto the ground. Stoic starts looking for his son everywhere but only finds Fury lying on the ground. When he was about to lose his hope, he sees Fury getting back to his senses. He managed to save Hiccup under his wings. This was the first time the old man felt something in his heart for a dragon he hated the most in his life. Everything has become normal right now. Hiccup wakes up. Unfortunately, he has lost one of his legs during the fight and it has been replaced by a synthetic one. Oh god, I never expected that to happen to him. And that is pretty much the end of the story. Now the villagers have learned to peacefully coexist with each other. Anyways, I'm watching this movie again right now frame by frame to find out hidden details and Easter eggs. If you want to watch my upcoming video on this movie, you can just hit the like button for the YouTube recommendation.